What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Shut Up and Work podcast. I am your wonderful host, the coach, and along with my beautiful co-host, Lady G. How are you doing today?
Hey, Coach. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great for a Tuesday that we're recording this around mid to late May. Probably you guys won't see this probably for a couple of weeks, but anyway, we got some great topics we're going to talk about today. All right, so Lady G, what's on the menu? What do we have first?
So, I wanted to talk about today a topic that, a lot of people may go through, and it's just not a one-way street. It's a two-way street with this topic, but it's called about how recruiters tend to ghost candidates, possible employees and things like that. And I've experienced that, so it hits home too. So I saw an article on LinkedIn. It's pretty recent, like a week ago, and it was talking about how basically it was the other way around, where candidates are ghosting recruiters. Not showing up to interviews, not responding to emails, offer letters. They just okay, whatever. But actually, it goes both ways. There are recruiters that tend to ghost candidates as well. And me personally, I've been through that, where I went to a job interview, right, and I didn't hear, they said, oh, hey, you will hear something in a week. We love the interview. Everything went great. And nothing, zip, bitch, nothing. And even people who tend to, I was going for this cohort. And even then it was I'm all about communication. That's one of my things I went to school for. So I'm okay, I get it. They may have a lot of candidates they go through, and they might not feel okay, may not feel the need to reach out to everybody and say, hey, we decided to go with somebody else or whatever. You didn't make the cut. But I think it's out of respect and just out of to make the company, the brand still look good, everything, hey, reach out to a person, whether it's via email or a phone or whatever, and say, hey, you didn't make the cut, or maybe, I'll keep an eye out for different opportunities. I wish it was more like that, but it seems like a lot of times, or more recently, it's people just ghosting you. You did I get the job? You don't never hear nothing, so you don't know what to think. So have you ever experienced something like that before?
Yes, I have. And I experienced it back, I want to say, I guess the early 2000s, around 2008 time frame. When I was working as a project manager, I was applying for different positions because, as the audience may know, I told the story about my health. How I got overweight and I was all stressed out. I was working 12, 13 hours a day. Well, anyway, I was just applying and applying and applying. And I knew I was qualified for these jobs. A lot of the job description of what that position was asking for, I had it and beyond. And it was one of those things, I don't want to say no names, the post office, U.S. Post Office. Went down there, they ran me through the whole gambit. I mean, I took the test, passed the test. Now, I maybe didn't score the highest, but I did, pass the test for the position that I was applying for. And still to this day, never got a call back from them. And then also, the job that I ended up going to when I left project management, which was working with the Army Corps of Engineers. I kind of shared that in our last podcast episode. Well, I had applied for a position 2 or 3 years prior. Never got a call back. Never got an email. I mean, nothing. Dog, cat, a sticky note. They didn't even say, hey, you didn't get the job or we hired somebody else. Nothing. And then all of a sudden, late 2009, one of the supervisors for the Army Corps of Engineers, he was in our department. He walked by my desk. He said, oh, you're Donald Glenn. And I was like, who the hell are you? And he was like, hey, I'm going to hire you. You had applied for this position or whatever. And it was a long time ago. He kind of made a joke about it. I know it's been a long time ago. You probably forgot. And I was looking at him who the hell? And I even got up, I was trying to find out, who is this guy? I don't know him from Nathan. And he talking about he going to hire me for a job. And I was like, what job? What position? Because he was right. I had totally forgot about it. And so as you're explaining, my resume had just went into these databases, back then, early 2000, I think it was Monster was the big job website. It was just sitting in there. And then if I don't know if you remember, the government sites, every Department of Defense, every military branch had their different websites. So like Air Force had their own, Army had their own, Marines had their own, Navy had their own. Anyway, before they all combined into USA Jobs. Mm-hmm. And then the same thing, USA Jobs, once you put your resume and you upload it in there, it was also used as what you're just saying, as a database. Mm-hmm. So when somebody was desperate and needed somebody at the last moment, they would just select your resume and give you a call, and you'd be like, who, what, who the hell are you? Just like I would. So yeah, I've experienced that. And like I said, I can name another company. I will go ahead and name. No shade. I'm not throwing no shade, but I wanted to work for, because I had an HVAC background, was Johnson Controls. There were plenty of positions that I qualified for or were overqualified for, and never got a call back. And I would apply, and even the site after a while has says, we already got your resume on file. Mm-hmm. So they were basically like, stop applying.
I mean, like, I would if y'all would, give me some feedback or, respond.
Right. Exactly.
It seems easy enough, but, I don't know, again, the recruiters or, employers, if they got just a lot of people, and they're like, okay, mm-hmm. We interviewed all these people, but now we don't want to go back to them and have it to message them and be like, hey, you didn't get the job. Or it seemed like if you had a system set up, mm-hmm. just automated emails saying, hey, thank you for applying, but you know what I'm saying? Some people do that. Not everybody's guilty of ghosting, but there are companies and recruiters out there. You're like, well, you leave people hanging in the balance because they're like, okay, did I get the job? You know what I'm saying? And it's people's livelihoods and stuff on the line at times where they're
exactly.
like, okay, I ain't hear back, but then you want to message them, but then you don't want to be like a bugaboo and be like, okay, I don't want to bug you, but hey, just following up. But there's a way to do it too. And even on LinkedIn, you can message the recruiters too. It might be a little more professional, okay. But yeah, it just seems like, it's a rough time for people, and it's like, it's better like when you dating somebody and you something happened, they just ghost you. You're like, what somebody did, or, so it seems like that all over again, bringing up that trauma. So.
No, it just Octavia's, his baby mama came in.
Oh, is that what it was?
Well, yeah.
There's a lot of them floating.
She's about that life, what I'm saying? Oh. Yeah. She can him up.
Oh, okay.
She's going through his phone. Who is this? Lady G. Who the hell is Lady? Let me call her ass. Let her know Octavius is mine.
That was like in the job for the corporate.
It's same thing with the females. When they ghost men, I always chalk it up to, I said, oh, her man must got out of the pen or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Octavius then got out. He going through her phone and and not to get off a subject, I heard that recently. Didn't that make the news? Somewhere, I can't remember where it was, but we're laughing about it. But a situation where, as you're saying, it was like a lady and a guy was going out, and then she just ghosted him. And she ghosted him because a man got out of the and her man like took over her place. Like told the parole officer, hey, I got a house, I'm staying with her, da. Yeah. It's like some foul. But anyway, we
that's crazy.
Yeah, but it just kind of, we just kind of went down that road. But yeah, getting back to what you're saying is, that is, I believe if they are going to do that in some form or fashion, they need to at least just, give you an update. Hey, we got your resume on file. We'll let you know something is happening. Or, hey, we got your resume on file. You didn't get this position, But if another position that is similar comes up, then boom, bam, bing, you're going to be in the running.
Yeah, and it's all about communication. Like, even this is not directly related to a job. I had the same experience with my security clearance.
Mm-hmm.
Those who are in the military and the government, field, they know what I'm talking about. But I've been waiting since like October of last year for something, and I know the process is complicated. It's a mess, but I've been waiting since then just to hear something, whether everything went through or not. So it's a process because you don't have anybody to reach out to. So it's you reaching out to the PM or the recruiter. Anybody heard anything? And it's a whole mess right now. So I wish some of these companies will get their processes together to where it's a better communication. It's a better timeline and everything where you say, hey, this person applied. Okay, boom. They can log in and check the status. Hey, it's been handed off to this person and such forth. You didn't get selected, or maybe you did get selected. So it's a mess right now. So I wish they get their whole stuff together.
I know. Get your stuff right, and then wonder why people are sitting at home because hey, they didn't apply and then applied and they're not getting the answer back, and they're like, hey, okay, you got to do something to keep people that are looking, to keep them excited, to keep them hungry, because otherwise they're going to become depressed or they're going to get withdrawn. Right. They're not going to keep applying. So they need to do something. And as you said, or as we've both been saying, keep something, coming, a message or something, or, stay in touch with that person. Hey, don't give up. You didn't get this job, but there's plenty more out there. We're circulating your resume to other companies with similar jobs.
It can also make the company or employer look bad. If you want to go apply for Google or something, and you applying, you ain't heard nothing, and then you meet somebody and they're like, "Oh, we got this job." They work for Google. And you talking up to them and networking, and then you're like, "Wait a minute, I applied. I don't know if I want to work for them. They ain't good at communicating. They don't like to message you back and then So it can make the brand, the company look bad as well. So
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, so do we have any final thoughts on this topic?
Basically, if you ever going through that situation, if you've ever been ghosted by a recruiter, I would suggest, there's a way to, you can email them, professionally, man. Don't cuss them out now, email them or reach out to them on LinkedIn, but, don't take it personal. I mean, if it sucks, I've been there, but, don't take it personal. Just chalk it up. And, something better must be waiting on the horizon for you. So, hey, keep doing what you got to do.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I totally agree with those actions is just keep moving forward. And if that recruiter, you feel like they're not doing the job, then find another one, And when you're out looking for a job, just understand it's a numbers game. The more you apply, the more you'll get callbacks. And unfortunately, that's how it works. It's almost like the dating game, not to go into detail, but you got to go out there and at least give 100 tries to maybe get 5 looks or, somewhere in that nature. Maybe you'll get a little bit higher, but that's just the way it works. So everybody don't get discouraged out there. And we hope that this helped you in this episode of what we're talking about. And we will talk to you on the next one. Peace.
Thanks for watching. And also, if you are having trouble or are currently working in a toxic workplace, then look no further than my book. It's available on Amazon called Shut Up and Work, Surviving Then Escaping the Workplace. Other than that, have a great day. Take care. Peace.